What up, peeps? Welcome back to the flip side. The internet never ceases to piss me off, right? Bottom of the barrel NPCs crawl their way up to the surface. They're like the three-headed dragon. They're like a hydra. That's what it is. You chop off one head, two more grow in its place, or whatever a hydra is. Just feast your eyes upon this monstrosity. Have you ever went online, right, and someone is just posting cringe? They're just posting cringe, or they're acting like a complete idiot, and you call them out and be like, bro, you can do better than this. Let's get back to reality here. And they can't seem to comprehend that someone pointed at them and called them out for their cringy or shitty behavior. Like, they're just totally stunned. They can't even comprehend what just happened. Right? Because they're so used to being enabled, and they're so used to being like, yeah, you're a queen. Yes, you're valid. Right? Like, we have to accept everyone. Listen, that's just his way of expressing himself. Fuck that shit. Okay? Like I said, let's get back to reality here. All right, listen. Imagine me, right? I go on the internet. I type out, just like another small trans girl who posted on here, I am also tiny sad baby. A trans femme who is a small sad stupid baby. Frowny face. I need to be taken care of. Seek the nearest mental health facility immediately before things get worse. So someone comments on this and they say, "You're not a baby." And by the way, this guy decides to type like a 5-year-old too, with spelling mistakes and shit, just to add a little more spice to it, right? Because it's not good enough just to type that out. They have to have the grammar errors too. And, someone comments, "You're not a baby, you're an adult man. Get a grip." Right? This is the thought of a normal person when they see absolute tomfoolery. Right? And someone just says, "What the fuck?" Or I should say, "What the fuck?" Like, you're totally dumbfounded. Like, you're absolutely dumbfounded that someone told you to snap back to reality. You can't handle it. It's as if this has never happened before. How cruel can this person be to tell me to stop acting cringe? To stop role playing as a trans sad baby? What are you, a fucking pedophile? Probably. You're probably a fucking pedophile. Look up there's plenty of cases where people that come from this cult have engaged in pedophilic behavior, if I'm allowed to say that. Okay, and and of course it's everybody else, but I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to only point at one type of person, right? It's other people have done this too. Yeah, I'm not talking about them, am I? So anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. Right. So for example, like, someone decides to grab a bucket of paint, just toss it around, just sloshing and swishing paint all up on walls and streets and cars, and someone comes along and says, like, "Dude, You cannot be throwing paint around. You're vandalizing things. You're literally making the public space uglier. You're literally polluting our streets. And the person throwing paint, they're in utter disbelief. Like, how dare you? How dare you call me out for my behavior? I cannot believe this just happened. How could this happen? Why? Why is this happening to me? I'm supposed to be the victim here. Everybody everybody like me is victimized, and we can do nothing wrong because we're always oppressed, and we've been oppressed since the beginning of time, right? Because we just choose to be different. And you know this, just like this person who commented, what the fuck, they have nothing to say. They can't argue on their own behalf because here's a little secret. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why it hurts them. That's why it hurts when someone says something. Because they know they're doing something cringe. But, they just don't want to be told not to do it. Because everybody else has just been enabling them and, yeah, you can do it. You're so oppressed. You can do it. We can beat the system. We have to smash the system. You're a queen. Yes, you're valid. You're so valid. It's just his way of expressing himself. He's not doing anything illegal. As if morality doesn't exist. Morality doesn't exist to these people. Because if we lived in a moral society, you would be cast out until you've learned to behave like a civilized, moral, normal human being that's ready to contribute to society. That's ready to stop acting like a degenerate. Right? Had to fix my hair. And so, coming from a first-hand experience, I have dealt with a lot of these people online. Discord servers, internet forums, whatever. And I'm sure a lot of you have. And I want to know if this relates. Their defense mechanisms, they have multiple at their disposal. And none of them work in their favor that they're aware of, right? Everyone else will agree with them just like that. Because they have to. Otherwise, they're a Nazi. Otherwise, they're racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic. Number one, they'll just act stupid. They'll act like they can't comprehend what the heck just happened. They'll be like, what'd you just say? Or, huh? Or just nothing of substance. Act like a dumb little child that just got caught stealing a cookie out of a cookie jar. Huh? Like that. They'll type like, what the fuck? Or, I don't understand what the heck just happened. Or, what's even going on? Or they'll just type a question mark. They'll just type a question mark. Like they didn't even understand the words that came out of your mouth. Like they're barely even just able to understand the discussion. Another tactic that they will deploy against man is they'll be like they'll laugh at you. They'll try to turn this around at you and be like, "This is so funny. Imagine being so obsessed with one person on the internet. Imagine, caring enough. Imagine caring enough to make a 10-minute video calling out degenerate behavior. Except it's not degenerate behavior in their eyes. It's normal. It's normal. It's just some obsessed guy. Like, you ever seen Mean Girls? It's a classic. But the main mean girl, she's like, "Why are you so obsessed with me?" That's literally what these people do. They try to turn it around and be like, "Why are you so obsessed with me?" Like, you're the problem here. You're creating the problem. Why don't you just mind your own business on a public forum where I'm allowed to comment? How dare you comment? Right? And this is the third tactic that they'll deploy. And it's similar to the second one, but it's just more vile, and it's villainizing the person that's calling you out. Right? No, you're not allowed to steal cookies from the cookie jar. No, it is cringe and immoral to roleplay as a trans emo baby because it's giving pedophilic. That's what they'd say. That's I don't know. It's giving pedophile. I dumbed it down for you. All right? It is reminiscent of pedophilic behavior. How dare you? Like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just leave him alone? Why can't you just leave people like us alone? Leave us alone. You're a Nazi. You're a phobe. All the phobes. Trans, race, sex, Islam, xenophobic, whatever phobic. Right? You're just one of those cis white Christian males that you just want to stop everyone else from enjoying themselves. If you have any semblance of a brain, right? And you're not some animalistic Harkonnen, if you get that reference, then you'll see right through these ploys. And you know what you do? You just troll. You just troll them back, or you just don't respond because you can't argue with these people. They're too stuck in their own dust-filled dome. Because there's nothing in there. It's just dust collecting. You can't argue with these people because they'll keep spewing out stupid stuff. It's not even worth a response. So that's basically it. People like this. Let me show this one last time just to top it off. People like this, they need to get called out. They need to be shown for who they really are, which is cringe, creepy, immoral. And, maybe, just maybe, they'll have some self-awareness and maybe delete it. And one more thing. I am 100% sure that most people on the internet are not conscious of a digital footprint. Everything you put online is permanent. Okay? Some things you thought you deleted were already screenshotted by someone else because they thought it was funny or cringe. Right? So whatever the things that you deleted, all right, things I've deleted I've seen resurface from somebody else on the internet. And it goes the same for you. So the small baby is probably going to change his ways, hopefully. Um, and he's, you know, people are going to clown on him because they're going to be like, "Bro, is this your Reddit account? Was this you?" Cuz like, we're coworkers and all, but like I go on Reddit too and like it seemed pretty similar to your other username. Was this you, bro? See? Right? That's pretty much it. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed. Next video, Mega Man 5 review, which I know nobody gives a shit. Uh, so, with all that said, and without further ado, I will see you all next time back on the flip side. Peace out.